All right. Everybody, welcome in to the Scuffed League. We got a scrim going on today between Team Virginia and Team Arizona. My name is Yanni. I am here with my co-host and my analyst caster, Sellsword over here. Sellsword, how you doing today? Doing all right? Ready to watch some League of Legends?
Doing great. This whole cycle's got me questioned already. Because strangely enough, no Kate ban and no Kate pickup either.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. I can completely agree with that. That champion is really,
Like,
really strong
yeah,
right now.
it's like everybody agrees in terms of ADCs right now. The S tier is Kate, and then it goes down from there. And neither team banned it or picked it.
Yeah, kind of surprising. We do see a couple of the AD carries do fit Caitlyn into their repertoires at any point or another. So yeah, no ban there picked up. Both AD carries have been selected, so it doesn't look like
Ooh.
we'll see a Caitlyn this game. If you haven't seen yet, we do have three bans for each side: Swain, Shen, and Vladimir for Team Virginia, Echo, Diana,
Yeah.
Ezreal for Team Arizona.
Virginia
And
hard targeting the mid laner. He is a hardcore Swain Vladimir player.
yeah, I mean, Swain's annoying. Nobody likes
Yeah.
playing against Swain. I
Yeah.
hate playing against
You
Swain.
just can't kill him in lane. He's
Oh
just
god,
gonna
it's so
survive.
awful. Team Virginia has picked up three members of their team. It looks like an AD carry, a support, and a jungler in the form of Jin Olaf and Nautilus. On the other
It's
side, Team Arizona has picked up Ashe, Kane, and Zillion, and their first ban of the second rotation has been
Not
Ari.
a fan. Yeah, so the interesting thing to me is seeing that big, tanky front line. We got a Nautilus and an Olaf looking to charge this team down.
Yeah, we got a bunch of meatballs. They're trying to run right at Arizona, roll down the hill, and trying to make things safe for Jin, who's an AD carry that really benefits when he's got a tanky front line. You know, doesn't
Yeah,
like being dived on and want to be moving
yeah.
forward into the opposing team. Team Arizona will finish off their last ban with an Urgot. And Team Virginia, they had banned Morgana for their first ban in second rotation, and it looks like they'll take out Jax here. So we'll see
Yeah.
some picks for Team Arizona. It looks like they still need not a jungler, a top laner, and either a support or a mid laner. Not sure where that Zillion's going. Bjergsen popularizing the Zillion more recently. I think a lot of mid laners have picked them up.
Yeah, I think it is the mid lane Zillion and I think Virginia thinks so as well because they banned a support and they banned a top laner. So I think it's a mid. Yeah, and the Lulu will probably confirm that we are dealing with a mid Zillion.
Absolutely. It looks like that. Well, we're not quite sure. That Lulu could theoretically go mid.
Could be a top Lulu for all
It
we know.
could, it could also be a top Lulu. Did not think
Yeah,
about that.
exactly.
It's a big flex picks coming out from Team Arizona. I'm not sure if they're flexing for their draft or flexing just a flex.
Both
But
teams holding
Team
off on their top laner, possibly.
Absolutely. It looks like Team Virginia, they might look for Oriana. Oriana seems like a
Yeah.
great pick with this team. You got your
Yeah.
meatballs charging through. You're going to be able to create some huge chaos and discord in these team fights. And I love Oriana, one of my favorite champions. Everybody says she's a
Virginia.
boring pick.
Yeah.
No. I get excited when I see her.
Yeah, so the best things about Olaf is you want to pair the Zillion or the Lulu with the Olaf. Anything to speed buff that Olaf is just going to put him over the top. And Arizona sniped both of the best speed up tools, but Oriana's your next best option.
And it looks like their last pick may go for some more initiation. So it looks like Team Virginia, Team Meatball, they are trying to engage fights, creating some chaos with Oriana Malphite, allowing Jin to just steamroll Team Arizona. We'll see if Team Arizona is going to be able to take it. They got some squishier
Mhm.
champions. It looks like they round out the team count with an Ornn, so it's some more solid initiation tools. The Ornn ultimate along with the Ashe ultimate, Zillion being able to land some bombs and hit some stuns. This team's got some solid initiation, and it seems like some solid drafts out of both teams. Nothing too surprising, aside from the lack of a Caitlyn. But these teams have drafted, in my opinion, with goals in mind, and that's always good to see. Not just out
Yeah,
here playing solo queue.
they're both going in with a game plan in mind. They've got not only the big meatballs, they got the Oriana ball going in with the meatballs. And big combo plays like that are huge in these kind of tournaments.
Absolutely, love to see it. So it looks like that was just our pro draft. So they will have to go into the lobby and actually, pick the champions and everything like that. So we'll have some downtime in between then. So tell me, any of these picks stand out? We got any pocket picks here for any of these players?
It seems like a lot of the pocket picks got banned out initially, with the Swain getting banned out, the Shen getting banned, which I believe one of these teams is a top laner who's huge into Shen. And Shen was picking up a lot of pro play as well recently.
Shen.
But the big thing to me was, they saved their top laners for their last pick, and neither of them went for the counter pick in the matchup. They both went for, you see the Malphite, you could pick a Darius or a Renekton or something to bully that Malphite out of existence, but instead they go for an Ornn, which is not a bad pick, but they saved the last counter pick for their top laner and didn't really make a counter pick case with it.
Yeah, I agree. You know, when you talk about seeing wet noodle fights in the top lane,
Yeah.
this is the kind of stuff that you see. Although Ornn does have some power in his kit. You know, the champions, I mean, you just take a look. The top laners these days that come out are now built differently. You know, they just have a little bit more base damage on everybody, on not everybody, but all of their abilities, just higher numbers.
Yeah, the Ornn pick also makes sense because the team comp didn't have a big tank at that point. Can maybe go tanky, maybe go assassin. We'll see how that plays out. But they needed a front line and they needed an initiation, and Ornn does all of that, and he buffs his teammates.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we'll see what this Kane elects to do. I'm not really sure what he's going to be assassinating. Seems like he's going to have a very, very hard time trying to be that guy for the team. Whereas, you know, it just seems kind of rough here. Team Virginia drafted a pretty solid comp.
For sure. There's not a ton of all out damage within that comp though, because Jin is, he's limited by the fact that he's only got 4 autos and he has to reload. Oriana's got a ton of damage, but she also has a lot of support for her team. She's not designed to be an all-out damage threat. So the Olaf is gonna have to hit hard as well for their comp to really work.
I completely agree. And just remember, Jin won't just be a fourth shot bot next season. See that preseason item that for the third hit, it's like Vayne silver bolts. Like now you're gonna be worried about like Jin's 3 hit in like a couple months, and then his 4th hit after that.
I'm excited and also
These items,
terrified.
these items look super, super sick. I'm a big fan, big fan.
Yep. So we're now into the delay period, I believe, before we can spectate the match for
Oh, they haven't. No. They haven't chosen their loadout yet. We're still there.
Oh, okay. We're getting there
There
though.
we go. Got about like 3 minutes and 30 seconds, I think, is
Right.
the
You
overall
have to
time.
finalize your runes and everything. Do not want to walk into this game with Grasp of the Undying on Jin.
All right, Sword. So craft a game plan for each of these squads.
Well, the name of the game on the Arizona side is engage, engage, engage. So you got the Jin, you got the Malphite, you got the Olaf. They're just going to be diving for that Ash the entire game. And the other team, I think it's a little more complicated to pull off properly because they're more so making it. They need to dodge the engage and then re-engage after all of their material, after all their engage tools are gone, capitalize on the advantage. So the team fights are really going to come down to who plays their comp better.
Absolutely, I can completely agree with that. Seems like these are, it seems like we're going to see some bloody fights. You know, Team
Oh yeah,
Virginia, as you mentioned, they are going to just absolutely
yeah.
create some chaos once you hit level 6. Anywhere from level 6 to 10 is where we're going to see some brawling. I'm not sure if we're going to see a more controlled game try to come out for these teams, or if they're just going to go, balls to the wall. We're out here playing solo.
Yeah, both teams built we're gonna fight each other comps. Nobody is building try a sneaky top lane split push strat. Nobody is doing a let's backdoor or try to sneak Baron. This is a we're gonna fight each other game, which is gonna be fun to watch.
Listen, watching people smack each other in the mouth is the funnest thing ever. It's like this is as close as you get from like League of Legends converting to football. It's just two teams that are gonna smack each other around. You're gonna see some chaos. You're gonna see some damage charts, and you might see a stomp. You might see team fights that don't necessarily go that way. Interested to see how this game will unfold. So, if you are team, if you're team Arizona, taking a look at your entire team comp top to bottom, what are you trying to do? Trying to wait around until you hit like level 6, or anywhere from level 6 to 10 for them as well, because this Kane, he's gonna have to get his form at some point. We don't want to speak a situation his first week that he played with TSM where you're waiting on a Kane to get form for 25 minutes.
Yeah, the Kane is, the aggressive jungler here. Olaf can also be really aggressive in the jungle too, but the jungle paths and the jungle information in the early game is going to be key because none of the lanes on their own really have the power to go in on each other or try to stomp fest. A lot of them are farm and runaway lanes.
Yeah, that seems right. And I mean, with the Lulu support pick in the bot lane, it creates a bit of a safer lane, especially against like a Jhin Nautilus combo where Ashe is generally going to be in danger a lot of this lane. I mean, you get hit by a stray ability, all of a sudden you can get snared by Jhin. You get snared by Jhin, that means Nautilus is coming after you. So Lulu, I think, was an excellent pick. You're going to be able to kind of, shield up your Ashe, prevent some engage by, having some nosy dewdrops come out and start polymorphing everybody. And, everybody hates Lulu. You know,
Yeah. Plus,
my buddy has a list of champions that are that he does not like, and if you play a list champion, he is not your friend. Lulu's on that list. Lulu is a list champ.
Lulu, Soraka, any of those like disengage Meiji supports have a bullet on their back as soon as you lock them in, especially against a Jhin, because Jhin does not, under any condition, want to be farming under his tower. His kit is terrible at it, and getting pushed in is worst case scenario. So they're going to be trying to get on that Lulu as soon as possible.
Absolutely agree there, especially with, I mean, the thing is though, if Jin is under his tower, I don't think with these teams there's going to be that much threat of a dive. It's not Kane's not really a diving champion unless you hit level 6, but they're not going to they don't have a tank support, so if they push Jin under the tower and they elect to dive or something like that, they're going to have a really tough time trying to convert kills without losing too much energy.
Yeah, no, seeing dives in a scrim would be very interesting because if a dive goes poorly, you're in a lot of trouble just with the entire state of the game at that point.
Oh, listen, you dive everywhere. You dive everywhere. Listen, you don't have your scuba license, you dive anyway.
Well, Lulu brought the snorkel. We got a pool party,
Oh,
Lulu.
she did bring the snorkel. She packed the snorkel. It's over. It's over. Pool party Lulu has packed the snorkel. As we take a look, let's see who wins the skin war. We see 4 skins on each side. You love to see it. However, we do have the combination Darkstar Oriana and Dark Cosmic Jin. They're not exactly the same skin line, but it's very, very similar. So
Yeah.
I give them the win in my book. They got the synergy there. Astro Nautilus, that's he's up in space. The cosmos. So
Yeah.
Broloff over here just being a bro.
It's a shame Wheezy doesn't have Dark Star Malphite. They could have had the whole
Oh
team
my
be
god,
gotta get that Dark
absolutely.
Star synergy locked in.
The Dark Stars and the Bros.
We got the OG Groovy Zillion though.
Yo, have you seen the zoom in on Groovy Zillion's face? That is the stuff of nightmares.
Ever since Lollipop got taken out, that is the scariest splash art.
Ever since Lollipop got nerfed that way. Sometimes you nerf skins. They nerfed Lollipop in that way. They nerfed Frostblade Aurelia in some certain areas, and Groovy Zillion is now a tier 1 scary skin.
Yeah, it's something, all right. Uh, we got the special border on the Project Ash too, even so.
Ooh, nice, nice, nice. All right. So, Team Virginia, Team Arizona, we are ready to get into it, and I'm excited. It's been a while since I've seen any scrimmage of some sort or anything like that. Nice to see 2 organized teams coming together, gonna make some cool plays. Hopefully, will not. Hopefully they don't feed. We don't like to see some running it down here. So it looks like Untitled User is making his way toward the blue side jungle. Was not spotted out. Rajin is going to be in a lot of trouble. Here comes the squad, and it
Wow.
looks like they're not going to be able to get any damage down onto him. They couldn't even kill the ward, so it does look like Team Virginia was spotted out. They're popping their masteries. They know they've been spotted. They want you to know that they've mastered their champions. But what they don't know is they don't know that ward was placed on the blue buff.
Yeah, Arizona goes for your standard fan out, everybody looking at entrance, start
Line
to
of
your jungle
scrimmage.
thing. Yeah,
Line of
exactly.
scrimmage, baby.
And then they go into the top blitz line. They don't push in deeper as a 5 to try to get an extra vision ward, get some more information on where Kane is. So an interesting issue there. It appears that it's just me now. I think my buddy's had a little bit of a connection issue there, but that's
Oh,
okay.
no, I'm still here.
Oh, your webcam just changed out.
Oh
My
yeah. Well, yeah. So the webcams aren't showing, and in Discord it'll cover up the bottom right hand corner of the minimap. Can't cover up the minimap.
Oh, I see.
So it looks like some pretty standard stuff. Broloff starting on that red buff. They give him a nice healthy leash. And they are going to be all ready to go. 999 forever. Going to try to find some advantage in this lane against Zilean. Zilean, not exactly the easiest champion to pressure. His auto attacks they do hurt. He does throw clocks at you. Clocks would hurt if they hit you.
Yeah, the real thing you can take advantage of with Zilean is his farming is really weak early game before his bombs just start one-shotting the entire minion wave. So you've got a window of there where you can really push him in and try to punish it.
Slooshy trying to zone Ash from hitting any of the minions a little bit closer to the minion line, but nothing doing there. Nothing with that
Oh,
four shot.
Nautilus got the hook.
First,
The
Nautilus
snare.
lands the hook. There's the snare. The Lulu's in trouble. The flash goes down. TheVioletCap running away. Slooshy has that fourth shot, holds onto it, and is not going to be able to get any extra damage there, but a great job there by the Virginia bot lane. They do burn the flash out of that Lulu.
Beautiful hook coming through from the Nautilus. Those are the plays you want to see coming out of your Nautilus.
I love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. So, looks like Team Arizona, their bot lane, they're a little bit pushed into their turret. Going to be a little bit harder for Nautilus to take advantage of any opportunities. And up in the top lane, we see some trading going back and forth. Rajin looked like he was getting the worst of that trade, but it looks like they're going pretty even. Wheezy a little bit low. Will get that last seismic shard in there, but he's taking a lot of minion damage, and you hate to see it coming on the wrong side of the trade there.
Get your pool noodles ready. We're going to the party. Oh, you got him!
Up in the top lane, Rajin actually leveled up and took out Wheezy. That was a big surprise. Wasn't expecting that. I guess, just stepped up a little too far, tried to continue to farm minions. And, when you take bad trades like that, you can't continuously try to farm minions the way you were earlier. You're just gonna get killed. Looks like he is back from war with that level. The bellowing breath does brittle him.
And here comes the cane.
Untitled user coming in, can't quite get enough damage on Wheezy. He will be backed up. The Ignite came down from the cane. He is actually on Smite and Ignite, and it looks like Wheezy is going to have to back. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Wet Janna Trolls is in a little bit of trouble. 2 shots left, can't land. The 4th shot on to the Lulu, does onto the Ashe, though. And, a decent trade overall. I would say advantage Virginia. Wheezy getting power dove, and Rajin gets
he's going to get the return kill.
Traded back. Taken down. They do try the dive. Remember, mentioned that earlier. They don't really have the meatball jungler to be able to dive like that.
Yeah, the big trade-off there is that the Ornn was the one who died there too, unfortunately, so he's not even getting any extra free time in the top lane off of the dive. All it does is keep the Malphite a little under-leveled.
Noticed an excellent job by Acid, doing some counter jungling. Saw the Kayn in the top lane, but Kayn responding in kind, and the teams will trade their Gromps.
Yeah. Got pretty sizable CS lead on the part of the Jhin so far as well.
Yeah, definitely a huge lead there. 16 very early in the game and growing. Plate going toward the way of that Jhin Nautilus as well. He should have enough gold for a BF sword at this point, I believe.
Interestingly enough, off of the back timer here for Zilean, he does not pick up the Dark Harvest and instead just goes straight for the Blasting Wand.
Yeah. I mean, the Blasting Wand, more damage, can help clear the wave a little bit better. I do understand why he went for that. And, it's good to see. You need some clear power here. Orianna, not sure if she's going to be maxing Q or W. Most of the time, you will max Q. So you do get a lot of easy wave clear with her, especially since her mana cost under Q is relatively low. So a way for Zilean to compete. Looks like this dragon will be going the way of Team Arizona. Surprisingly, Team Virginia, they did have control of the bot lane earlier, but did end up backing out of there. And it looks like it was just a pretty free pickup for Team Arizona. The mid lane and the bot lane, for Team Virginia had backed. It was well recognized by Arizona as we have a fight in the top lane.
Trouble again.
So much trouble, nowhere to go. You're not even level 6.
You can't hide. You're a mountain.
Fourth, trying to get away desperatly, is getting
he's gonna make the flash.
The final Ornn clap flash, getting the kill. Ornn now 3-1 in this lane, and that could spell disaster for Team Virginia.
Oof. Unfortunately, if anybody's going to take the early deaths, it is the guy who's building straight tank. So it's not going to be too detrimental in the long grand scheme of things, as long as he gets that knock up in the team fights. Oh, but the Ashe is going to get home.
Nice hook there. The Violet Cap running away. The exhaust getting burnt, and it looks like that will be the rest of the engagement. The Violet Cap trying to get some more damage back down onto the Jin. Jin has that fourth shot. Did get slowed. Couldn't get it down. Has to use it on a minion. Oh, no. The
He
hook
gets
did
it
land. He
again?
did not use it on a minion. The snare comes down the root onto the Lulu. Taken down. Slooshy with a kill there. And that BF sword back, you saw it right there. A lot of damage came down.
The bot lane aggression is exactly what we wanted to see out of this Nautilus Jin. And it is,
It was
and
a
he
kill.
got the Ash.
They dove and they killed the Ash. Oh my, that's you hate to see it. Slooshy just barely getting out of there alive. And you know, we thought it might have been disastrous with Ornn getting a couple of kills, but with Jin, ooh, that's gonna be rough goings for this bot lane. The CS disparity is huge. Wheezy trying to desperately to trade back onto the Ornn is not able to do all too much there.
Fortunately, Jin is probably the worst ADC at melting through tank, so Ornn might be able to get tanky enough to counteract it. We'll see. We're gonna get some interesting fights later on.
I agree. And on his way to this Grump is Acid trying to find Untitled User. Untitled User will be backing in the blue side try. Here comes the Ornn Horn. The unstoppable force from Wheezy will just barely get him out. But here comes Untitled User. He's going to pick up a kill, but Acid is going to pick him up right back, throwing an axe right in his face, slamming it down with some true damage. And, nice trade there. Unfortunately for Wheezy, it did end up going down. Wheezy having a rough time so far. Acid has hit level 6, and he is ready to fight. The Ornn will attempt to dash out, but the axes are landing. He is slowed. One more auto attack, and Acid is going to take down Rajin, and that is a nice job there by Acid. He picks up 2 quick kills, and he could potentially start taking advantage and start taking control of this jungle matchup.
What a huge misplay from the Jin there. He gets the W and the Ignite onto the Malphite, but he doesn't ult in onto it. He's hit level 6, but he chooses to stay into the Tribe Rush where the Olaf can collapse on him.
Yeah, it seemed like an interesting decision, but he was pretty low. Not sure if he was going to be able to do anything there, but you never know what can happen. You get yourself over a wall. Acid starting up this Rift Herald, and Swagnar getting zoned off by Orianna. Great job by Orianna to create that zone, force Swagnar back to the lane, and this should be a free Rift Herald for Team Virginia. Now 999 Forever is in a little bit of trouble. Nice shockwave there. Oh, but the ultimate, it's not enough. Untitled User is going to get resurrected. 999 Forever dangerously dancing on the edge of those time bombs, but will just barely get out. Does force the Zillion ult, and Swagnar will be a little low. He might not be able to stick around too much longer with Acid in the area.
What an insane trade for nobody to die in.
That was excellent. Oh, like I said, here comes Acid. He's ready to tower dive. He's gone unstoppable. The last auto attack onto Swagnar when the Triumph was not enough, but it's an execute.
Oh my gosh, what an exciting game this is so far.
This has been awesome. Here comes the Jin ultimate, trying to put some damage down onto Wet Jenna Trolls, but a nice block there on the fourth shot by Untitled User. Not too much damage coming down. Untitled User does get rooted up, but nothing really happening. After that, the bot lane is firmly in control of Team Virginia here. The CS disparity, the item disparity, it's going to be a lot to overcome. They are going to need some help.
So yeah, looking again back at the items, we are seeing the Orianna going for the tier route. Which
there is an engagement into the bot lane. An Untitled User came over the wall. FortressDoor gets hit by the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Slooshy has been exhausted. He can't do much more in this fight. But Wet Jenna Trolls does walk forward, takes one more auto attack, but Jin not able to do too much more. A clean 1-for-0. 999 Forever and Acid are going to find an engagement onto Untitled User. A nice flash over the wall by Acid. He's going to pick up Untitled User. This dragon is now up. The jungler is now down for Team Arizona. Up in the top lane, we see an attempted engagement. Nice job there by Malphite getting out of there. Acid and 999 Forever will pick up this dragon for Team Virginia.
Wow, this game is just non-stop fighting each other. The junglers are getting all over the map, ganking every single lane. Like, this is just an insane show of skill from both junglers.
Listen, we came in. I even mentioned I was wondering if they were going to play this game like a scrim or like solo queue. I feel like I'm watching solo queue. Wheezy taking quite a bit of damage. Rajin is just too strong at this point with these resistances. The Bammy Cinder, the level advantage, the more damage on abilities. It's just too much right now.
Yeah, it's Orin's damage type is a little interesting with the way his bellows and his hammer and his knockup work. So it's kind of hard to itemize against early, but Malphite's building, I believe, for the late game.
I'll
He's
give
buying.
Weezy a lot of credit. He's hanging in
Yeah,
CS.
yeah. He's doing what he can, and he's making the most of this pretty lackluster situation.
So, taking a look at the mid lane here, nice CS numbers for both of these mid laners. Interested to see what Swagnar is going to be able to do a little bit later in the game. Swagnar, I believe, used to play Collegiate in the Collegiate League, a pretty solid player, probably one of the better players we have. As we see an engagement into the bot lane onto the TheVioletCap, the ultimate from Lulu coming down along with the shield, and now the curtain call trying to find Wet Jenna Trolls cannot do so. No extra damage put down by Slooshy, but they still have a huge advantage in this game, especially in this lane. It's yikes. This is a 40 CS lead for the Jin. Oof, it's pretty big.
The Lulu's doing everything in her power to keep them alive, but sometimes it's just not enough.
Untitled user trying to make his way into the
Oh,
bot
here
lane
comes
again.
Kane.
Not sure if we're going to see an engagement here. The ultimate for Ashe, the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, is active. Swagnar down in the bottom lane as well, but gets spotted out by that ward. And it looks like that's going to back off Slooshy and FortressDoor. Nice job by the two of them. Map awareness, map awareness 100. Rift Herald does get dropped into the top lane, and Rasian is going to have to deal with that. A lot of plate gold going over to Acid. And the way of pushing into Rasian, who is just going to form it up pretty easily. Swagnar up there, nothing really to do though.
Smart call to put the Rift Herald into the top lane to try to get your Malphite back. And I don't have time to talk because we're fighting.
On the way, Jenna Trolls, but Untitled user comes in and just makes a beeline for Slooshy. FortressDoor goes down, and it is a double kill for Untitled user. Excellent job there by TheVioletCap and Wet Jenna Trolls. A great use of ultimate out of the Ashe, and a great job of playing on a knife's edge. They were a little low, but they weren't threatened all too much after Untitled user just came in and obliterated Slooshy.
Yeah, what an insane follow-up on the Enchanted Arrow with the Jin coming over the wall and just doing an insane amount of damage.
Weezy trying to pick a fight 2 levels down, and it's not really where you want to be, but Rasian is not getting the better of the trades at first, but has finally firmly gotten control of this top lane against Weezy. CS lead growing and growing. It's about 20 right now for Rasian, as we see Kane does get his form. 14 minutes into the game, you love to see it. Early Kane form is really what you're looking for.
And we have an Assassin Kane on our hands.
Assassin Kane. Kane and Rost, baby. The champion's pretty strong. I hate his ultimate personally. Not a big fan of it.
Yeah, it's very annoying.
Some warding.
So crazy.
Some warding went down by the FortressDoor as Wet Jenna Trolls puts some wards down in the river as well. So some vision being traded, but there was a pink ward, so that vision by FortressDoor was cleared out. Untitled user is going to clear this control ward on the blue side and get some gold for his troubles, deny some vision, and just like that, I feel like this bot lane could have potentially turned on its head. Acid will be up doing the Rift Herald and trying to make some more hay, maybe knock one of these outer towers down.
Yeah, interesting time to go and grab the Herald because the Dragon's going to be up again in the next 30 seconds, and giving any team that second Dragon is going to give them a huge advantage in this fight going forward.
Absolutely. It looks like Rasian did spot out Acid, but isn't going to do much here with about 55% HP. But Acid looks like he's going to make a beeline for Rasian. It looks like they're going to try to potentially unlock this Malphite, try to get him around the rest of the map, but they don't drop the Rift Herald.
Yeah, they don't quite drop it yet, but they've got time on it.
Yeah, Swagnar and Untitled user spotted around the bot lane. They are going to make a beeline for the mid lane as Acid and 999 Forever are trying to get that mid lane tower down. The Rift Herald gets dropped, getting ready to charge. Olaf has gone unstoppable.
Down.
The Kane is going to spit himself out closer to his tower and nothing doing, no kills, but the tower was taken down for Team Virginia. Excellent job there. Mid tower provides a lot of map control.
And we have ourselves a dragon fight.
Oh, baby, I'm excited. Lulu trying to make her way in, maybe drop some vision. The dragon has not been started yet, but it looks like every member of the team, save for the top laners, is ready to fight over this dragon. Slooshy ready to control some wards, but he is separated. An untitled user is right over that wall. And a nice hook landed onto Swagnar, and here we go. Oh no! Jin used his ultimate on the backline, but Untitled User was there to interrupt it, so FortressDoor had gone in, taking way too much damage. Rajin is in the middle of the fight, finds his way onto Acid. Acid's in a lot of trouble, going low, he goes down. 999 Forever and Slooshy, they are trapped in the back of the dragon. Flashed over, the unstoppable force is gonna land. They're gonna take out two people. A double kill for this Malphite. He has been unlocked. FortressDoor going down. Wheezy's gotta run. Here comes the Orange Horn, hitting Slooshy, knocking him up. He's in a lot of trouble. He's gonna go down. A double kill for the TheVioletCap, and all of a sudden, Team Virginia is running scared, but 999 forever. The kill onto the TheVioletCap, fighting this team fight on a knife's edge. Swagnar, the Chrono Shift going down. There's no mana on the side of 999 Forever. They have to disengage. A 3-for-3 and an excellent show by both of these top laners. Nice teleports, turned the fight for both teams, and you know the fight didn't go one way or another. You know, it's such a close fight. These teams were really close in gold before that fight, and just excellent use of the ultimates from both these top laners and their teleports. And you know, nothing really happens. The dragon still stands, and some vision gets cleared by Acid.
That fight was looking terrible, and the whole time I'm sitting, why hasn't the Malphite TP'd in? And then the second he does, the whole fight turns around.
Oh my god, that ultimate was crazy. The unstoppable force killing two people, was not expecting that, but if you take a look at his items, I'm not sure if he had the Bramble Best before that fight, but I know he had the Bambi Cinder, so he is, you know, standing around doing damage, and it looks like Team Virginia has started up on this dragon. And Team Arizona are going to be zoned off a little bit. It looks like this one's going to go the way of Team Virginia pretty easily.
Ornn went to the top lane.
Nice!
Oh, but a great Zillion bomb.
The TheVioletCap drops the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, but they are not going to find an engagement. Rajin was in the top lane, does not have teleport. You can't pick that fight.
Yeah, some great poke, some great harass to walk away from, but at the end of the day, Dragon's going over.
999 Forever now in the top lane, the CS leader of the game at 163 and stacking up that Archangel staff. And this, you know, this is the part in the time where Orianna starts ramping up. You know, Orianna can deal some sneaky damage. Most people are not ready for it. Untitled user taking that red buff now around with Swagnar, but no, they're in trouble. Wheezy with an excellent two-man unstoppable force. Down goes Untitled user into the Chrono Shift. Swagnar trying to run away, landed the three-man stun. Wheezy is going to be the one to kill Untitled user. Swagnar hit a trap, has to dodge his last bullet, and he does. Is he going to be able to get out of there? A violent cap and wet Janna tolls there. The ultimate goes up onto Swagnar, not giving him enough health though, as Acid is going to take down Swagnar. And Acid taking a little bit more damage, bringing him pretty low, around 200 HP. But they're going to disengage. A pretty clean fight there for Team Virginia, a 2-for-0.
Somebody just got caught with their hand in the cookie jar there. Kane just gets caught trying to steal the red buff. And they go, hey, wait a minute, you can't have that. That's our cookie.
It's our cookie. Well, it ended up being their cookie. Rajin maybe trying to find an engage on 999 Forever. 999 Forever, not very tanky. Could find themselves in a little bit of trouble, especially with these that Abyssal Mask being completed on the side of Ornn. But it looks like Wheezy is heading up there to try to create some disruption, but Untitled user is flanking Wheezy. So Rajin is going to dash his way back to the tower, the TP coming down from the Zillion, and it looks like Team Virginia is going to have to back away. Wheezy not ready to back away just yet. Did hit the Scrying Ward, potentially trying to pick a fight. Untitled user is going to find his way onto Slooshy, misses the knockup, and uses that Umbral ability, that ultimate, to go into Slooshy. Oh, a nice three-man ultimate, but combo! Oh, the unstoppable force into the command shockwave. Swagnar goes down. It's a 3-for-0. This looks like it's a Baron for Team Virginia.
You can punish him in lane, but you cannot keep a good Malphite down.
It's just been crazy team fight ultimates out of Wheezy. Wheezy, rough start, stepping up, making plays, clean 3-for-0. TheVioletCap and Tolls not around. They might just have to settle for a bot lane turret. This is a Baron going over to Team Virginia. Team Virginia, 6,000 gold lead. They're going to spend some gold. They're going to get their items. And Team Arizona, they might be in a little bit of trouble now. The gold difference might start rearing its ugly head here.
Yeah, they'll get a little bit of a gold balance is a little off because the Ornn items are going to start coming in here, but they definitely need to make a comeback.
FortressDoor does spot out Genitals. And Genitals does land the Glitter Lance, and now the ultimate coming out of Slooshy. Slooshy trying to get the slow. Genitals does flash. FortressDoor with a nice depth charge ultimate. Getting the root onto Genitals. Now the root goes
Oh,
on to
nice, Ash.
TheVioletCap with an excellent enchanted crystal arrow is going to try to turn the fight.
Oh, so close.
Flashes and heals, gets the shields. The polymorph though, and down goes TheVioletCap. FortressDoor going down as well. We saw Untitled User in the back of that team fight getting the kill onto Slooshy, and this is a 2-for-1 in favor of Team Virginia, or Team Arizona. I'm sorry.
Oh, they got such a huge advantage. They got the Baron. Now they're all overcommitting without proper vision in their opponent's jungle.
They're looking to rotate onto
Oh,
999 forever. The sombrero. Oh no, Swagnar chasing. Oh wait, no, there's an excellent ultimate out of Wheezy, and they turn the fight on its head. And now Swagnar's in trouble. Here comes Acid. Swagnar has been pinched. He's got nowhere to go. Gets the stun, but it's only on to Malphite. 999 forever. Command attack. Command dissonance. Gets the kill.
Yeah, it's very been a very unclean, weird mix with this Baron. We don't have like a Baron power play chart on our display here, but I'd actually be really curious to see what it looked like there because they lost some fights, got some stuff back. They got the turret from the top lane as well, so not the worst Baron ever, but definitely some productive issues there.
Absolutely. They were definitely a little bit lackluster. It looks like their plan was just to fight as opposed to try to use their Baron efficiently. They still have it for a little bit longer. This dragon will be coming up soon. They're looking to put themselves into Soul Point for this Cloud Soul. I'm not sure if you saw that Reddit thread, but Cloud Soul does not work properly for some champions. It's pretty frustrating. If your champion is in the middle of their ultimate, or their ultimate's active, like Jin or Annie, after you ult and Tippers is still around, and you get a Cloud Soul, you actually don't get the cooldown reduction on your ultimate.
I was not aware of that, but that's really unfortunate.
Yeah, you just lose the stats. It's been that way since it's been released. Slooshy putting some damage down to Swagnar, and a swag sidestep out of Swagnar, preventing himself from getting rooted up. But it looks like Team Virginia, they will begin to do this dragon. Team Arizona, they don't really have a way to try to get into this fight. Dragon taken down by Team Virginia. That puts them to Soul Point.
Yeah, when your comp is based around the other team engaging onto you, there's not a ton that you can do when they just straight up say, we're not going to engage. We're going to take this dragon. And we're going to make you come to us.
Absolutely. It looks like the Nautilus, the Olaf, the Malphite, just running people down is going to be too much to handle in this game for Team Arizona. They now trail by about 7,000 gold. Wheezy is caught out in the middle of 4 members of the enemy team, but he does unstoppable force over the wall. The enchanted crystal arrow does not quite hit there, and Wheezy able to get out. Does put that ultimate on cooldown for a short time. Slooshy and FortressDoor do take the tower in the bottom lane.
Sure, it's a lost cooldown for the Malphite ult, but also Ashe ulted there and completely whiffed. So it actually turns out to being a better trade for Malphite since he got caught out.
Absolutely. Don't necessarily disagree with that one. Is 999 forever, CSing forever. 205, the CS leader in this game. At 25 minutes, not too bad, not too bad.
Oriana.404 is doing very well right now.
Right, Oriana top 404. Isn't that file not found or something like that?
Well,
we found this Oriana.
She's not finding the death meters, but she's not finding right now.
That's true. The death meter not able to find the Oriana yet. Hopefully it stays that way for Team Virginia as they have crafted a great team comp, putting together a pretty good team, pretty good plan for this game, and they want to fight forever.
Yeah, and they're going to keep looking for fights.
Ornn getting his second upgraded item for himself, that Sunfire Cape. I cannot remember what the upgraded name of that Sunfire Cape is, but all I do know is it gives some more stats and a little bit more damage, and you love to see it.
Yeah, interestingly enough, I don't think the rest of his team has even bought an item yet that he can upgrade.
Yeah, and that does happen sometimes.
Yep.
It's Untitled User trying to get a little aggressive onto Slooshy. But nothing doing there. That mid tower still remains for Team Virginia, and they are pretty insulated against any super aggressive plays like that for now.
Malphite's looking for an engage.
Yeah, Malphite is looking for an engaged. Rajin does get snared up. Wheezy was not on a ward. He is now. He has found his way into the fight.
Rage
Rajin
can't
in a
kill
little
him
bit of
fast
trouble
enough. He's
in
too
the middle
tanky.
of 4 members, but he is too tanky. The ultimate's coming out. A nice
Comes the
3-man ultimate out of
Ornhorn.
Wheezy onto the back line. The Ornhorn does go down. Nothing really doing there. The TheVioletCap is able to just put a bunch of damage down, and it looks like there was a sombrero there. And a nice knockup by Rajin. 999 Forever has not been able to get into the fight too well, but is now putting down the command attack, command dissonance. It's that sneaky Orianna damage that we mentioned earlier. Nobody's really prepared for it until it actually happens. Rajin trying to chase down 999 Forever. Janna on the back line is getting hit up, is in the chrono shift, but now the Zillion in a little bit of trouble flashes over the wall. 999 Forever trying to put out some consistent damage on to Janna. Janna's been rooted. Janna goes down. 999 Forever, an excellent job of kiting this team fight out. Rajin trying to chase down 999 Forever. Realizes the efforts are fruitless, turns onto FortressDoor, can't deal any damage, and another team fight win for Team Virginia. 6-0-6 on this Orianna. Excellent team fight positioning.
As I said before, it's hard to just straight up burst down an Ornn when your main ADC is Jin, because he's like the worst tank shredder in the game. But it doesn't matter when your Orianna is putting out that much damage.
Yeah, especially with this Haunting, guys, you're gaining the percentage up to 10% for that entire fight, because these fights are going to be lasting a pretty decent amount of time. They don't have huge burst damage aside from the Orianna attack dissonance combo. So, you're able to stack that up all the way. Now, the Leandri's Torment going out, a popularized item by the analyst Last Shadow, and it's a great item. The Eyes of Pain, it's a pretty good passive on an item, and this Orianna looking to shred away that Ornn in these next fights. Wheezy is in a little bit of trouble. He's in the middle of 4 members, and it doesn't look like he's as tanky as Ornn. The Unstoppable Force to go over the wall, but Untitled User will have the damage, and it looks like this one's going to go over to the TheVioletCap. And on the other side of the map, Team Virginia has started up the Baron, and I'm not quite sure if Team Arizona is aware of it. They are walking up, but this Baron is going down in a reasonable amount of time, about 7,000 HP. But Acid is not there. They recognize that Team Arizona is on the way, and they have to back off.
Watching Weezy get caught out again just makes me think of the SpongeBob meme of how many times we have to teach you this lesson, old man. You cannot stand there.
Oh, man. This is a Weezy, baby. You hate to see it, especially since you can lose a lot of control for this dragon fight. However, Wheezy should be up momentarily. Does have teleport.
Yep.
This is soul point for Team Virginia. They're going to want to secure this. Forever, a little bit low on HP, nothing too bad. Looks like Wheezy will teleport his way in. It's not a flank teleport. He's just there to join his team. It looks like
no,
getting caught out there.
Into the back line.
Janna in a lot of trouble. The chrono shift goes down. Meanwhile, on the back line, Slooshy gets knocked up against the Untitled User, but Forever's going to help protect Slooshy on the other end. Down goes Swagnar. Rajin is in a lot of trouble in the middle of 4 members of the enemy team. A double kill for FortressDoor. And now the TheVioletCap running for their life. The hook can't quite land. They have to continue to run. It looks like the soul is going to go over. Oh, a 4th shot by Slooshy. And one more auto attack. Down goes the TheVioletCap. That is an ace for Team Virginia. They will secure this soul. They may go after the Baron next. They have entire control of the map. They're up 13,000 gold. It's looking pretty grim for Team Arizona.
Yeah, we talked before this match about how difficult it's going to be for the Kane to actually assassinate the Jin. He's able to get to that backline, but the Orianna shields are just too strong.
Yeah, and I mean, earlier in the game, Jin was able to do that. Jin was a little bit stronger. There were a couple of times in the game where the Kane was a little too aggressive and kind of threw their lead a little bit. And now you're just not able to assassinate 2 of the only assassinatable is that a word? Assassinatable members of the enemy team. And at this point, I think Team Arizona is just way too far behind. They don't have the damage on this team. They don't have Bjergsen in the mid lane, and it does not look like the Zillion pick is going to find their team victory here.
Yeah, a lot of the Zillion ults I fought in these team fights were coming out really late, and most of the time he seems to be using it to save himself instead of trying to get it onto Kane or the Ornn and get it on somebody, because giving Ornn a second health bar is going to get way more value out of that Zillion ult than you are if you have to use it on the Lulu.
Yeah, I have seen a couple on the Lulu, and I like the idea. The Lulu can provide a lot of utility in the team fights. But at this point, when you've got such a lack of damage against Team Meatball here, I don't know if that's gonna. I don't know if that's the way you want to approach the team fights. Looks like untitled user is going to be chased down in the jungle. FortressDoor trying to find his way over. Award and not quite getting cleared out. FortressDoor is going to head to the top lane and get that top lane pushing in. No, it looks like he's going to head back with the rest of the team. No, it looks like he is going to go back to the top lane. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Forever will be grabbing that wave and looking to push it up. They're going for a standard 1-3-1 here. It looks like Wheezy might be in a little trouble as all 5 members of the enemy team are converging onto him. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow does land. The knockup comes in onto 2 members of the enemy team. The Ornhorn only knocks up Wheezy. Now in the middle of the fight is Acid wreaking havoc, chasing down Swagnar. On the other side, Untitled user has to run. Rasian in the middle of a rock and a hard place. Will find a dash, won't get snared down. Acid does have some damage here. The depth charge coming out. It does not knock him up as he was rooted. But Rasian is in a little bit of trouble, has no HP left to give. Forever has gone legendary. Oh my god, the attack dissonance by Orianna, chunking the HP bar. I think it did 60% of his health bar. 9-0-10 for this Orianna. Can they make it 10-0-10? Not quite, as that ultimate does not quite land. Down goes Swagnar. Swagnar has disconnected. The rest of Team Arizona has disconnected from the game, and they will be losing the first game of this best of 3. An excellent showing by Team Meatball, Team Virginia, going in, making plays, big beefy boys, getting some kills, getting a dub.
9-0-11 on that Orianna. Just the amount of mileage they got out of that was just insane. That is about as close as you can get to a
Yeah, you love to see it. Yeah, absolutely love to see it. It's, I mean, yeah, 9-0-11 Acid with a great showing. 9-2-11. Like, I mean, the damage charts. The damage charts, I'm sure, were obscene. These guys really had a great showing. As you can see, the Jin and the Orianna pumping out the most damage on the enemy team. On not the enemy team, but for Team Virginia, you love to see that sort of play.
Yeah. Well, just as we were hoping for, this was an all-out just fighting each other to the end. Once you start losing those team fights and you just keep looking, it gets harder and harder to win the next one.
Absolutely, you fall behind just a little bit, and it's once it starts happening, you can spiral out of control real easily, and you hate to see it. You know, as the kids say, you hate to see it, or you really got to win those. I hear that one a lot too.
Yeah.
So it
But
looks like we're gonna head into game 2 soon. What do you think? What do you think needs to be done to prevent another loss?
yeah, so the nice thing about getting to scrim in a best of 3 scenario is you get to look at your opponents, see what works for them, and you get to change your bans accordingly. So I would not be surprised if we saw Orianna find her way onto the ban list this game.
Yeah, I would not be surprised by that either, as Oriana really, really showed up. You love to see that. Forever played an excellent game. Really good job leaning into the Zillion. It just played a really tight game overall. CS numbers looked really good. Team fights looked really good. There were a couple of shockwaves that weren't so great, but there were also a couple of shockwaves that were absolutely excellent. And the combination of the unstoppable force out of the Malphite with the command shockwave out of Oriana was too much for Team Arizona to handle.
Yeah. And I want to see something more creative than an Ornn coming out into the top lane side, because he's shown that he can beat Wheezy in lane, pick something aggressive, and just try to punish it as hard as you can and push that advantage.
Absolutely, I can completely agree with that. I want to see a bit of a more aggressive pick come out, and because if you can beat Wheezy in lane, you know, especially on a champion like Malphite, where even if you put him behind, it can still be incredibly useful. We're gonna need to see a bit of more of a hard carry in the top lane, I feel.
Yeah, it would be one thing for sure to try to draft your team around that. But I think the other thing that we talked about from this game, as soon as we got into the champ select, is no Caitlyn. Is that going to start to make a return at this point, though?
That's what I'm wondering myself. The Caitlyn was a surprise, no pick, no ban. And we see some bot laners, Jin and Ash, where I think Caitlyn could have done very, very well for either side. Especially with the way the lanes kind of played out. So I'm looking to see at least that champion get picked up next game. Mostly because I also love that champion.
Yeah, Caitlyn also like we talked about like the wombo combos we were trying to set up. Caitlyn combos so well with teammates because just the way you can set down the traps on top of other CC, get those free headshots in. It's honestly crazy. And if you're looking to keep pushing your bot lane advantage, bringing a Caitlyn in, it changes the flow on either side because she can do it all with
Yeah.
either supports.
Oh, absolutely. I
She,
mean, the champion's the lane bully in the very definition.
yeah, she can do the bully, go in, we're gonna kill them, but she's got the range to also sit back and do the we're gonna just control the wave and push you into the turret style.
Well, so apparently, from what I can see in the chat, if that's Wheezy, apparently he's gonna pick a champ that he plays this game. Ooh. Oof, throwing down the gauntlet, the threat. Like I'm gonna actually. He was playing with the. If you ever watch Naruto, you see Rock Lee's got the weights on all the time, taking the weights off for the next game. They don't want
Yeah,
to lose another one. They
taking
want. They
off
want to
that,
win.
gotta take off that Dragon Ball Z weighted training
What's the,
gear and get ready to
the win?
really go.
Definitely wants to win a lane because that was a bit of rough goings there. Warren, always a tough matchup. It's a bit of an annoying champion, especially with the billowed breath, the brittle on that ability. A lot of B's in that sentence. Uh, it's really really annoying to deal with if you're a top lane.
Yeah, Ornn as a champion is just so ridiculous in his kit. He's got it all. He's got CC, he's got the tank, he can become invulnerable. Like he's just an insane champion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you ever recall. This was on an LCK broadcast. I think it was Last Shadow again. I just described Ornn as like every single type of like champion in the book, like
Yeah,
gunslinger, mage, tank, like all this stuff.
yeah,
Even reference some D&D classes. That champion really does quite do it all.
yeah.
It's kind of insane.
Yeah, you think about the champions where you can offset gold values because they just generate additional gold. For the longest time, it was just Twisted Fate and Gangplank. And Ornn does it in a completely different style by just saying, here, have some extra damage, go nuts.
Yeah, you love to see that sort of thing. And I mean, by looking at the end of the game, I don't recall if they built any Ornn items.
Yeah, they didn't buy any of the items Ornn could upgrade, which you'd think you'd want to get the stopwatch on Zillion at the very least. But we're
Yeah.
into picks and bans.
Yep. Looks like Team Virginia looking to go 2-0 in this best of three, whereas Team Arizona is really looking to try to find their footing, maybe ban some meatballs here.
I'm not sure you could ban out the meatballs because you can always just pick a different flavor of meatball.
Are there different flavors of meatball? Like
Yeah, you got like
you can like
garlic and you
you
got
can
like
like put things in your meatball, I guess.
you got like half cow, half pig, you got like all pig, you got mystery meatball, like
Can we have Greek meatballs? I love Greek meatballs.
oh god. We can't be
Awesome.
thinking about food. We gotta be thinking about League of Legends.
I mean, we can think about food. I'm just, we called them Team Meatball. I mean,
That's true.
that does, no picks, no bans yet in this pro draft that we're waiting on. It looks like I spoke too soon. Team
Yep.
Virginia, they have 30 seconds. Their first ban. Looks like it's gonna be Swain once again.
Okay.
Are we gonna see some similar bans? Looks
Well,
like a
take
echo for Team Arizona. This looks pretty similar to last time.
yeah, if you won the game, if it ain't broke, you don't fix it. You target out the mid laner. He couldn't do a ton on the Zillion. It was a good call.
The
Although the
new one by
Olaf's
Team
gonna find
Arizona.
his way.
Very, very solid ban. That Olaf wreaked absolute havoc last game.
For sure. Now, here's the interesting part: are we going to see the Jin be the first pick again, or are we going to see the Caitlyn come out?
That's a wild first pick. I was pretty surprised by it.
Yeah. Which again, these players all have their own champion pool as their own right. It's just possible both of these ADCs don't feel comfortable on Caitlyn, but we're going to see the Ezreal instead. Okay.
Ezreal, one of, if not my favorite champion, probably my second favorite. Love to see this champion come out. I just love the play lines that you can kind of have with this champion and the damage that you can just output by just simply farming. Farm yourself up, get yourself in a good position, don't die. You're throwing Qs, it's dealing half the damage of the enemy, and they're slowed, and now you're chasing them down. It's pretty simplistic, but Ash coming out for Team Arizona, that Ash is pretty good in Ezreal.
Not going to give them the chance to ban away the Morgana. They're just going to pick it up immediately.
Going to be an interesting pick. It might be a little difficult to land Morgana bindings onto the Ezreal, but that'll allow Team Virginia to have a pretty solid support pick and have exactly what they want going into the Morgana. As they saw from last game, it looked like it may have been more effective to have a black shield on the enemy on their team to prevent some CC as opposed to having a regular shield. It looks like Team Virginia has picked up the combination of Volibear and Nami. Nami, an interesting pick. I like it. You know, the kind of nice defensive support that can provide a little bit of aggression. You love to see it. Able to
Yeah,
pop the black shield with the ebb and flow.
yeah, they picked the Morgana up early because they're maybe afraid of it getting counter picked against them or banned out. But they pick it before Virginia locks in a hook champion, so they just go, okay, cool, we'll just not play a hook champion.
Oh, I see what Team Arizona is trying to do.
Oh gosh,
Well, they're trying to CC you for so long that by the time you get out of CC, you're able to go outside again.
no, you won't because you'll be dead.
This is going to be pretty ridiculous. Team
Oh,
CC
there's
comes
the
out
Oriana ban. Yeah,
solid ban out of Team Arizona. Kind of surprised Team Virginia did not pick up the Oriana earlier. Oriana's pretty much good in everything.
yeah,
And
prioritizing their jungle over the Oriana pick is interesting.
yep, it looks like Jax will be the ban for Team Virginia. No, they swapped to Ornn. A little bit annoying to deal with, and Ornn really the danger point for Team Arizona. So Team Virginia, I think, is pretty wise to ban that out. Force them onto something else. See what else they can play.
I feel like that's almost Wheezy begging this guy to go the Jax. Like, okay, I'm gonna pick what I know how to play. Take your Jax. I'll still try to beat you.
It looks like they banned the
Huh.
Rengar. I'm not. Does anybody play Rengar in a strange position? Is this Volibear maybe not a jungle?
Volibear
Tune
could potentially go top, but Rengar can also potentially go top. So, and I
Yeah.
don't know if,
Oh
yeah,
my god. Oh no. Oh
yeah,
no.
I know, it's a nightmare just to think about, but it is a thing that can happen.
Rengar got the biggest buff in the game when they introduced the alcoves because he got that alcove bush.
Oh god.
The biggest buff in the game.
Okay, my murder pony joining Team Arizona.
Oh, again, Team CC is the name of the game for Team Arizona. Unsure what Virginia is going to do here. They have a couple of creative picks that they could opt to try to see how to combat the team that Team Arizona has drafted. This is a pretty solid team. Their lanes don't seem to be the strongest for now. A Zed pickup by Team Virginia.
Ooh, that's a spicy
Interesting.
meatball.
And Singe. Oh my, no, no.
Oh, that you are asking to get counterpicked of a singed.
Why? Who picks Singed?
I mean, with the Zed in the mid lane, that kind of wanted an AP top laner, but I feel like you probably maybe could have picked Rumble.
Singed going over to Team Virginia, and I am interested to see if we're going to see some proxy farming in this game. I
It,
am is trying to spell doom for the
yeah.
Camille on the other side for Team Arizona. So we have the team selected. We have the bans. To recap, Team Virginia banned Swain, Shen, Vladimir in the first rotation, and then Ornn and Jackson the second rotation. In the first rotation for Team Arizona, they banned Echo, Diana, Olaf, and in the second rotation they banned Oriana, Rengar. Team Virginia had their first rotation picks be Ezreal, Volibear, Nami, and Team Arizona had theirs be Ash, Morgana. Then Team Arizona followed up with Lux Hecarim, whereas Team Virginia finished with Zed and Singed, and finally Team Arizona got the last pick in that Camille. So we're gonna see Camille versus Singed. I'm not sure how much fighting we're gonna see in the top lane, but it looks like it looks like Wheezy is playing a top laner that they know how to play.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I wanted to see out of Arizona was you get the last pick, you're saving it for your top laner, you pick something that counters the singed. I mean, that's exactly what I want to see out of them. They pick a fighter, they're going to try to punish Wheezy as hard as they can.
Yeah, and I mean, if Wheezy opts to try to proxy the wave, that's very dangerous to do in a coordinated team environment. You can really put yourself behind and kind of make yourself a non-factor. So
Especially,
interested to see what's going to happen here. You don't normally see Singed lane standard anymore.
yeah, especially with the Hecarim in the jungle on the other side, because he can literally come and get to you from the other side of the map in a matter of seconds, even if you're trying to proxy farm. It's like it's an extremely dangerous thing to do when you've got an aggressive jungler on the other side as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Wheezy. I mean, maybe he named himself after the Singed poison. I'm pretty sure you're wheezing in that. What if they added What if they added like a little cough noise whenever you walk into it that your champion just starts hacking up along?
That's the most annoying thing about Cassidy, though, is the fact that he breathes
'Cause then
like
you,
Darth Vader
because then
constantly.
you have you combine Singe laugh with that. All of a sudden you're coughing up a lung, and then you hear whoa as he flips you backward, and now you're just
Oh my god.
rooted.
Let's not give them bad ideas. They're already full of full of over riots.
Everybody remember rule number 1 of League of Legends: don't chase Singed. Rule number 2: build Thornmail and Ash. Everybody's played the tutorial, I'm sure. If you haven't played the tutorial, then what are you doing? Play the tutorial. Learn how to play League. Stop it. Get some help. So we
Uh,
have our picks going down. Like we had mentioned, it looked like Team Arizona is Team CC today. Um, well, the Lux binding, the Morgana binding, like I said, somebody gets caught, they are going to get caught for years and years and years. They might be doing 25 to life.
yeah, you're gonna want to get a QSS on your carries as fast as possible during that comp. But the problem with that is Zed really does not want to buy a QSS.
No, I agree with that. I mean, it will help him out against the Lux.
Yeah, it helps in the lane, but
I mean, like, I'm not trying to justify like, oh yes, purchase this item first, or
no.
anything like that. But
Yeah.
like, I mean, it is going to be useful.
Oh, for sure.
It would be a solid third item. I think Ezreal is obviously going to pick this up. I wonder if Nami is going to pick up the Mikhail's Crucible. I think that would also be a
Yeah.
wise choice here. So we have our teams, Team Virginia, like I had mentioned earlier in the pro draft. But now, as they have picked their champions, it is Cinched in the top lane, Volibear in the jungle, Zed in the mid lane, Ezreal Nami bot lane. Whereas Team Arizona has Camille in the top lane, Hecarim in the jungle, Lux in the mid lane, and Ash Morgana in the bot lane. This Ash Morgana combo, it's pretty solid. Going to provide a lot of insulation for Ash. If a Volibear attempts to gank, you can Black Shield his stun. But if Zed does roam down, it's not really going to deal too much. So it's going to be really useful in lane against the Nami, trying to prevent FortressDoor from really taking over the lane outside of healing up Ezreal. Try to prevent a lot of aggression and see if we can get the TheVioletCap and Janna out of the laning phase. They had a rough go at it last time, but in the team fight phase, the TheVioletCap did a very, very good job of team fighting. I'll give them a lot of credit. They put themselves in a lot of good positions. They positioned fairly well. They pumped out a lot of damage because that's what you do on Ash.
Yeah.
So if you can get them out of laning phase and not be so far behind like they were last time, you could be in pretty good shape.
Yeah, the name of the game on Ash is kiting. But now you got a kite when a Singe is going to put the little his W down on you that says you can't leave.
Yeah, this game is really going to come down to which support can actually protect their backline a little bit better. Because we have champions like Camille and Hecarim. They're going to be diving the Ezreal, Nami, potentially even the Zed if the Zed isn't able to engage the fight first. On the other side of the coin, if the Zed is able to engage the fight first, you're going to see champions like Singe, Volibear, Zed breathing down the neck of Ash, Morgana, and Lux, while Camille and Hecarim are conversely on the other side of the team fight trying to take out Ezreal and Nami. So this will cause some problems, and it will fall on the support shoulders to be able to defend their carry for the longest to enable them to deal the most possible damage that they can.
Yeah, I have nothing to add to that. That was perfectly explained. Well done.
Thank you. I've been playing League for a long time. Kind of took your job for a second there. I'm sorry.
No, you're totally fine. I think like league casting is very much going back and forth on that kind of thing. And you're exactly right. Both of them drafted tanks that want to dive as hard as possible.
Absolutely. I wonder what sort of defensive items we're going to see out of our carries this game. Naturally, Lux is probably going to be on Zonia's. Morgana's going to be on Zonia's just because that's how you build her. So she's doing a good job, going to insulate herself against some damage from Zed and Ezreal. Volibear does some mixed damage along with Singed. So, Team Virginia does have a pretty subtle but solid mix of damage between AP and AD. I'm interested to see what Ash is going to do. I mean, yeah, you have a couple of defensive item options. None of them really excellent against this team. I mean, GA might be the only one, but if you go down, you go down. And I know Death's Dance isn't really often built on Ash, but I find that Death's Dance is just an excellent AD carry item in general. Ash is going to have their work cut out for them this game. They just, and that's what you sign up for when you play AD carry.
Yeah, any 80 carry game is like that, and it gets even worse like that when you see a Zed on the other team.
God, it's the worst experience ever. I still stand by the statement that the worst thing that Riot ever did was change it so you can't QSS the Z ultimate. Because that champion just does so much damage anyway, and you just die to him anyway.
Yeah.
They
And
made
also, it gave
Talon.
people a reason to pick Talon. So
It did give people a reason to pick Talon. Unfortunately, there's pretty much no reason to pick Talon. Although he
yeah,
can't vault over walls, which is probably the most annoying thing ever.
yeah.
You ever be a Jarvan against the Talon? It sucks.
That's always a funny matchup, especially when Talon used to blink, because then you just dodge the flag and
Just,
drag because you go
you just,
behind him.
yeah, you just dodge everything anyway. It's just
Yeah, it's the stupidest thing to camp in the world if you're a Jarvan.
Ladies and gentlemen, the spectator delay is over. We will be seeing some more League of Legends. It's Team Arizona. It's Team Virginia. Team Virginia took game one. Team Arizona looking for some revenge.
Let's see if we can actually make this a best of 3.
I don't know if it's going to be a best of three anyway. You think they're going to play the third game anyway?
I mean, if it's 1-1, I don't know why you wouldn't play the third game.
All right, and as we can see, Skin War, again, 4 skins on each side. We do have Battle Academia Lux Prestige Edition. I mean, I gotta give it to Team Arizona here. I mean, look at Psyops Ezreal doesn't even have the Prestige Edition skin. What are you doing? What are you
Yeah,
doing, Slooshy? Although, what I will say Slooshy is doing, Slooshy making the smart move, opting for cleanse this game. Like the choice.
I was curious about that, if he was going to go heal, cleanse, or teleport. Because a lot of Ezreals are big fans of teleport for some reason.
Absolutely. You're gonna be relying really, really big on the healing from Nami in this lane. And we will now get into the game. We are ready. The map is a little bit dark. Somebody needs to turn the lights on to Summoner's Rift here, please. But once they do, we will be getting into the game. Did you know that the fountain has health? Apparently. It's a little health bar right there.
Yeah, it's just it's a coding thing. So you got to put a value on it, basically everything. It's kind of like when you load up TFT. If you can see the lobby, everybody is Kaisa because it's the same movement speed on the little
Really?
legends. Yeah,
That's actually insane.
it's just a coding like shortcut. You use it in basically any video game.
Well, now I want to know how much health the fountain has.
Yeah,
Looks like Acid and FortressDoor, they're going to try to find their way into the red side jungle. A ward going down. Into Pixel Brush in the river. Jenna staring it down. Not sure if she managed to see that.
not doing the group 5-man invade this time. Both teams are
Yeah,
spreading out.
yeah, I'm sure Rasian is on high alert right now, but is probably going to be okay, much like they were last time.
You know,
And,
Weezy's looking for a fight up there from the start. He was like, you know what? I'm playing at somebody I know.
yeah, that's always great when you play against somebody that you know, and you just want to crush them, stomp them into the dirt. Play a lot of in-house games, and that's how I feel most of the time.
He's going for the
Wheezy,
proxy car.
Wheezy chasing down Rasian, forces the ward out of Rasian. That's it's pretty solid. You know, the early wards they last for 180 seconds, or no, I believe they last for 120. Can't remember if the early ward lasts for 120 or 180, but it will be going down soon, and that'll be a potential gank opportunity a little bit later, uh, into our game.
Yeah, especially when you've got Volibear CC on top of the Singe flip. There's definitely an opportunity there, but Camille's a hard champion to pin down.
Absolutely. Let's see what Forever's going to do this game. An impressive Orianna performance last time out is probably on the worst end of this lane. Is going to be taking a lot of damage from afar, especially as we all know what Lux can do. And the Singe Poison will come down. Raging will take a little bit of damage, and it's that little bit of incidental damage that could become problematic as we continue to play. Wheezy does take the wrong end of the trade here, but the poison is able to even that out just a little bit.
Yeah, the Camille AP specific shield is going to be a huge detriment to Singed alone up there.
That's huge. You love to see it. You know, I'm always wondered why she had an AP shield, and now I know. This is exactly why.
Yeah.
Specifically against Singed, right? Decided, screw Singed.
Singed, Rumble, and Teemo is basically the only champions it gets used against in the top lane.
That's it. Positioning for a lane gank. Interesting. We do see Untitled User is heading to his top side of the jungle. So, Acid has not been spotted yet. We'll sit in the middle bush. I'm not sure how long he's going to sit there. I don't know if Rasian's going to do anything. The toss comes in. And the trade going back and forth, Wheezy getting just the better end of that. But there's really no position here for Acid to gank.
Yeah, unless they're going for some sort of really early dive, which I don't think they have the correct champions to attempt that.
They could potentially be
Oh,
out.
there's the flip. Never mind.
Raging had to
And
engage,
then
and the
the
flash
flash.
comes out. Acid, the patience pays off. They burn the flash of Camille.
Yeah, it's a shame Volibear doesn't have his old backflip because then you can chain that into Singed, and it's kind of funny looking.
Completely agree. It looks like untitled user. He is charging in. Look at my horse. My horse is amazing. Wheezy is going to flash and is now immediately
Flash.
turning around. Here comes Acid,
There's the
landing the
storm.
stun down. Untitled user in a little bit of trouble. He's in the poison. Down he goes. An auto attack from Acid. First blood going over to Team Virginia.
Yeah, great positioning and great use of the flash there on Singe just to get away enough to buy Volibear enough time to come back.
Absolutely. You got to bait him in a little bit and just enough that the Hecarim's not going to deal any damage to you. Morgana looking to get the edge on positioning. Jenna putting a lot of damage down. FortressDoor is in a lot of trouble. The snare goes down. Oh, Slooshy used cleanse. He thought he had heal. And down goes FortressDoor. He panic cleansed because he thought he had heal.
Oh, what a beautiful play.
No.
Wet Janna Troll seeing the way the minions lined up in order to put FortressDoor in a situation where he couldn't walk away and not get binded. So he took up the turret, the minion damage, putting down the Morgana W on top of that, and you're just in a terrible situation. Waited till the flash was gone, and then put the Morgana Q out. That was just beautifully played.
Perfectly played by Jenna, taking advantage of the bushes on the bottom side of the bottom lane to really get the edge. And when you set the edge like that and somebody stepped up a little bit too far, they are going to be in a lot of trouble. They are going to take a lot of damage. They are going to die.
Yeah, just like from the lane manipulation, the macros, and then being able to hit the skill shots. It's like she did every single part of being a support perfectly there.
Everything right there. Got the kill. And you know what? You wanted to go over to the AD carry normally, but that's a well-deserved kill. Jenna earned that kill.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not a total waste when it's on something like a Morgana.
Notice they did spot out Slooshy and FortressDoor. FortressDoor will pop the Scryer's Bloom. That's going to alert the rest of the team. Acid, and Slooshy, and FortressDoor onto this dragon. Untitled user a little bit more preoccupied with the wolves. He's heading down, but he's going to be really late. And this first dragon is going to go over to Team Virginia. Excellent map play there by Team Virginia.
Yeah, nice clean rotation.
Interesting. Coast to coast with these plays, you know? It's great.
Still not seeing a Dark Harvest coming out on Swag at all there, which I think is a bit of a misstep, because at this point you'd get more out of that Dark Seal than you would get out of the Amp Tome.
No, I completely agree with that. But normally you kind of want to pair that with a Corrupting Potion. Not sure if they have Time Ward Tonic either.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Bit of an engagement by Wheezy here, putting a lot of damage onto Ragin. Ragin has no mana, can't really do too much here. It looks like the lane is Wheezy's to lose right now. As you see the Dark Seal, one stack of Dark Seal for Wheezy. Wheezy trying to unlock himself this game.
A real Sins would have 3 Dark Seals by now, but yeah. Man, that poison tick is just doing so much work.
Look at the patience. Look at the way. Crikey, it's a Wheezy in his natural habitat.
Like the first stockiest play. He pops the ghost.
Crikey, mate. He pops the ghost. He's going to land the knock-up. Oh, he can't get the knock-up. He can't get the knock-up. Unfortunate there. Puts down the adhesive, but can't quite get the snare.
Yeah, watching these two guys top lane against each other has been really exciting, because it doesn't matter what champions they have, they're gonna punch each other a lot.
You know, Ragin probably came into this game a little bit of a swagger and a step, a little bit of, swag walking over the lane. Like, yeah, you know what? We took this first lane. It was great. As we see Untitled User and Acid trying to jockey for position here in the jungle. The first one to respond, though, is Ragin chasing down Acid. Is going to get right on top of him. One more auto attack should do it. Untitled User spinning his scythe, getting a kill. It looks like the Zed's in a little... Oh, never mind! A ton of damage coming at it Forever. Oh, I don't know why. I ever thought Forever was going to be in any trouble there. I should have known, judging by the last game, that Forever knows what they're doing. And just an excellent job there. The multiple clones from the Zed Ultimate, the ZW, and the Shurikens just coming out. Shurikens everywhere, flying all around. I thought I was watching Naruto for a second. And Swagnar getting the wrong end of that. Now Untitled User trying to find an engagement onto Wheezy. Wheezy did a pretty good job trying to juke around, but he will go down as the onslaught of shadows will fear him. And that is a kill going over to Team Arizona. Lots of
Yeah,
action happening early on. You love to see it.
yeah, and that right there is what Camille is such a strong counter to the Singe, because what does Singe fear? Not being able to run away. And Camille just says, guess what? You're staying right here.
Yeah, I like the pick. I like the pick. And you know what? Like I just mentioned, I had just bagged on Raging a little bit. Probably had a little bit of swag in a step and was kind of getting taken to him in the lane here. But an excellent job in the river fight. An excellent job with this top lane gank. Did everything right. Gets rewarded for it. Is gonna find their way into this game.
Yeah, but Forever did the Zed combo there absolutely perfectly because he bursted that through the barrier.
That was crazy.
Like, I thought the barrier was going to save Lux there, and then she just disappeared. It
Yeah,
was a
yeah,
magic.
Lux just didn't have enough damage to be able to actually kill the Zed. Acid chasing down Raging, the flash, but
Wow.
Wheezy's not there. Not quite sure what Acid's trying to do. His level 5 can't shut down the tower either, and a questionable flash, one might call it.
Yeah, I think it was just because the pink ward spotted him out, and he made the call that if he knows I'm here, I have to just go.
Does not clear the pink ward, but does turn the attention over to the Rift Herald. Wheezy has control of the lane for right now. Does take an unnecessary tower shot. Not sure if that's going to change all too much here. Forever does have relative control of the mid lane, and Swagnar will head toward the bottom side of the map. So it looks like this will be a pretty free Rift Herald for Acid. Meanwhile, in the Virginia bot lane, they will get the first turret plating of the game for them. It's pretty nice. You love to see it. Ezreal, 79 CS, starting out with that pickaxe. You see most AD carries starting with pickaxe when they try to get Manamune instead of tier, and you love to see it. Give you a little bit of extra beef in your auto attacks.
Yep, but in the same breath, Ash has a BF sword now, so they're still a little bit down in terms of just pure raw offense there. And, the Morgana has a kill.
All right, and the Eye of the Herald being used. Acid is level 6 now. They could try to dive Raging.
Oh,
Get
Zed's here
home
too.
forever. This is Raging is in a lot of trouble now. Running away, does dash back to the turret. The turret does get deactivated. Raging has nowhere to go. Forever picking up that kill now. 2-0, 94 CS. That's a threat.
That is a clean dive.
This is a good job, though, by Team Arizona. They immediately recognize the three-man top, and they're going to start doing this dragon. And it looks like Violet is able to push the wave into the tower, prevent Slooshy and FortressDoor from coming over, and one more volley will keep them out for good. And it looks like the dragon will go over to Team Arizona. That is an Infernal Drake. We will see an Ocean Drake this game. An important one. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow lands. Look at them. CC forever. Down goes FortressDoor. On the other end, Slooshy can't quite get the kill onto Janna. Gets chased away after the onslaught of shadows. And Team CC showing what their game plan is.
Why can't I move? I would like to move, please. I thought that was a part of the game.
I wonder if FortressDoor thought they disconnected before they saw a gray screen.
Possibly. It's like so many long-lasting snares.
Yeah, it's gonna be a rough one. If the Ash Arrow travels an immediate distance, an intermediate distance, I should say, it's going to result in a pretty long stun. It can be easily followed up with a Lux snare and a Morgana binding,
Yeah.
and you're pretty much done as long as you're a squishy member of the team. And I mean, I think the only member of the team that'd be able to escape anything out of that will be Acid later in the game. But even right now, it would still go down to that. So you got to be very, very careful before you tread. You gotta
You also
always be sweeping at everything.
have to make sure that you're timing your abilities correctly on that, because if you accidentally stack the snares together, you're not going to get the optimal amount of CC time there.
100% correct there. We see Slooshy did finish the Manamune. That's going to be pretty important. A nice ult by Swagnar across the map. That's going to help Raging get the kill onto Wheezy. Excellent job there. And Raging, 2-1-1. Camille, from what I understand, I've got a friend who is a Camille one trick and Grandmaster. Camille really doesn't come online until about 3 items. Camille's getting there. So, watch out for that.
Yeah, I love the amount of pressure both teams are putting towards their top laners, because both their top laners went into this game thinking, I can beat this guy. I just want to fight.
I don't think they know that Heckram's here. Acid was in the area. Untitled User has an excellent flank right here. The Onslaught of Shadows, not quite ready yet. If you wait a little bit longer, it will be Swagnar on the way down. You just have to land the Onslaught of Shadows and get the fear down. Once you get the fear down, if the Ezreal hasn't shifted, you have an opportunity. Looks like Acid's still in the area. Swagnar making their way down We see that Forever was near the top lane. Untitled user, a little bit of indecision. Looks like he's going to begin to charge. The binding does go down on the Ezreal, does get cleansed away. The onslaught of shadows goes onto the Nami, not the Ezreal. The Ezreal is going to get an opportunity to pump out some damage here. Hasn't been hit by the Morgana tether, but Acid was, as Acid was in the thick of things and gets taken down. 1-0 in favor of Team Arizona. They're looking a lot better this game.
Yeah, weird that the Lux beats the Zed onto the roam there, which I'm not entirely sure. Zed knew that Hecarim was down there,
Yeah, I
but
think it
when
was
Lux is missing and you're a Zed, you're gonna want to go after her.
right. I think it was because Forever was in the top lane and maybe thought that Swagnar was on a back timing of some sort. But obviously, Swagnar is going to have the perfect information, knowing that Hecarim is in the bot lane. So
And look at all this time that Wheezy's wasting. He walked all the way down for that fight once he saw things were breaking out. Maybe from Fountain there, I'm not entirely sure. But he doesn't have TP, and Camille still has her TP available. So if they want to go for another fight, Singe has to walk again, and Camille can be there in a second.
right. It's going to be more imperative if either Singe has to either be in a position where the team fight is starting and has to already be there, or has to focus on the split push game. Did a pretty good job roaming there. Didn't lose any experience. Did lose a little bit of CS. He caught that wave as it came to the turret. The turret is down. There's not really too much he can do right now because he's not stronger than Rajin. If Singe was stronger than Camille right now, then you can make more of a case for it. But right now the power level just is not there for that. Singe has to tread a little bit lightly against this Camille.
Zed does not have his teammates here. He's looking for something alone onto the Ash.
Question. Forever.
Oh, what a burst.
Yeah, flashing forward, does get the death mark down, doesn't get the damage down though, and Violet is going to live. That was an excellent exchange. Crystal Arrow did just enough, and Slooshy just left. The field goal attempt is up and goes wide left. Not quite able to get the kill there. That would have been a huge pick-me-up there, extra couple of 100 gold, but unfortunately Forever does go down. This is going to allow Lux to take control of the mid lane here. Get some pressure on, force Acid mid.
Man, if I had a nickel for every time I miss an Ezreal that close, I wouldn't have to be here right now.
Oh, Janna got into a little bit of trouble, was in the 2v1. Not quite sure how that happened. It looks like it might have been a tidal wave out of Nami, but that is really, really bad because this dragon is coming up in 10 seconds. Jenna's going to be late to this dragon, and Forever is still going to be on time.
Yeah, she's staying down even though Acid elite. Oh my god!
Oh, double root Acid in the middle of the fight now, trying to find his way onto Swagnar. Meanwhile, Slooshy taking down Untitled user. Slooshy in the 2v1. He's got a lot of damage. A pretty nice flash. Has to just auto attack the Ashe. Did not. However, Forever will come in and clean up the rest of the fight. That is a 3-for-2 in favor of Team Virginia, but they won't be able to make any hay on the dragon here. It looks like Forever will head back toward the mid lane to try to push this in and maybe take that tower down. In the top lane, Wheezy got the bad end of a trade against Rajin. Level difference there is pretty rough. Is on a ward. Oh, wait, Wheezy. I'm not sure what that back was for. Rajin, though, in a little bit of trouble. Does throw down the Hextech ultimatum. The poison is ticking away, though. Ticking away onto Rajin. The burn as well. Rajin fails to jump over the wall or elected not to. Not quite sure what their thought process was there, but that Singe was really, really low on HP. That looked like it should have been a fight win for Rajin.
That almost could have been a double KO where the Singe kills the Camille and then she just dies of the poison. But Hecarim is actually going to pick up the
Yeah, he does pick up Wheezy. He is ghosting down all the way to the dragon, but the dragon has been started up by Acid and Slooshy. FortressDoor doing a good job of zoning Violet there, and it looks like nothing that Team Arizona can do about it. A secured dragon for Team Virginia. They will get the first Ocean Drake of the game. The going down. Janna with the nice spell shield is going to get away. Violet trying to put out a little bit of damage, but nothing doing there. But a good secure there by Team Virginia. And I think the map play is the difference here. As we can see, there's a bit of a gold disparity. Team Virginia up about 1,500 gold, but down 4 kills. They've been playing the map better.
Yes. Yeah, seeing the Hecarim going topside in order to get that kill is what gives them okay, we can just take the dragon. He's not here. They're not prepared for it.
I don't think Acid is going to start up this Rift Herald. Is on a ward. And then the controller, I guess the controller is just not spotting it. Doesn't spot the pink ward, I guess, or the blue or the vision ward.
Yeah.
It looks like he's gonna get collapsed on Untitled User,
Oh, that
trying to
was not
find
a good
his way in.
flash.
Not a good flash, but does go unstoppable. Here comes Wheezy. Wheezy trying to zone on
3v2.
the rest of Team
Oh, here
Arizona. But
comes Ed.
3v2. Here comes the snare, but Forever on the back line now. Drops the ultimate down onto the Hecarim. They know that they have to kill the Hecarim. Down goes Hecarim. Forever in a little bit of trouble in the Hextech ultimatum. Can't run any further, but Swagnar does not have the cooldowns and can't find the kill onto Forever. Rajan was taken down. On the bot lane, we see a trade go 2-for-1 in favor of Team Virginia. And Team Virginia looking to take advantage of this trade. Forever, maybe trying to find a way in. Can't quite land the shurikens. Acid chasing down Swagnar. A nice snare by Swagnar. Gets grounded, slowed, jumped on,
Flipper
stunned up.
back.
Easy
Yep.
flipped, taken down. Swagnar, ace for Team Virginia.
And just like that, the kills are all even up in this game.
Yeah, that was an excellent job by Team Virginia. They won the 2v2 in the bot lane. They won the 3v3 in the top lane. Not quite sure who picked up the objective. It looks like it was picked up by Acid. So Team Virginia did end up securing that objective. It's pretty big. You know, you can start taking down the mid lane, opening up the map a little bit more. Maybe you want to open up the bot lane, especially since the next fight's probably going to be around the dragon.
Yeah, Arizona also picked up the Rift Herald on that. I want to give a shout out to our observer for pointing that out for us there. That Arizona did in fact get the Herald, and it is on the Volley Bear.
Pretty good. Love to see it. That Rift Herald's really, really strong. You know,
They've
so,
gotten every single Rift Herald both games, and they got 2 both times.
yeah, it just looks like a priority difference here. You know, it looks like Acid has prioritized these Rift Heralds a little bit more than all of the dragons. As you know, Team Arizona had gotten a couple of dragons earlier on into the game, but I mean, Acid has done an excellent job of jungling, controlling the map really well. We see a fight break out. FortressDoor did drop the tidal wave, but down goes Ezreal. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but not for long because the binding came out. FortressDoor stationary, much like a door. TheVioletCap getting another kill there. 4-2 and 5 on this Ashe.
Hecarim spent so much time there jumping into their jungle trying to look for a flank route that he completely missed when they just straight up engaged on them and turned the 2v3 into just a 2v2, and it cost them Morgana in the long run. I think somebody died. Oh, it cost them the Lux. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's pretty big whiff there, and we do see Team Virginia did secure the mid tower. It's 2 towers to 0 and a 4,000 gold lead for the trouble. Untitled User heading up to the top lane to try to take down Wheezy Baby as Rajan is trying to run but gets flipped back the other way. Nice job there. Nice layering of the ultimates. Rajan almost goes down. I think the Triumph might have saved Rajan there. And a pretty nice use of ultimates from the side of Arizona. The onslaught of shadows along with the Hextech ultimatum. They'll find a kill onto Wheezy, but they're finding kills onto Wheezy. But they are finding kills onto Forever, and Forever is camping this red buff. It might wait there forever.
He is just standing there, menacingly. Yeah, I didn't know you could dash with the Camille out onto a moving target like that. That was pretty interesting how they got to stack the alts like that.
Yeah, they did a great job of layering there. Looks like Acid getting
Gonna get
teared
the
up.
binding onto the Nami. There's the Lux ult.
Nami takes so much damage. The return tidal wave not quite gonna cause a fight. It will definitely break one up for sure. And we see Wheezy might be heading toward his team here as this dragon is coming up in about 20 seconds. It looks like Team Arizona, they seem to have pretty firm control of it. FortressDoor a little bit low on health. Heals himself up, a little low on mana. Acid face checks and gets obliterated by the combined might of Team Arizona. Forever has to back away. Looks like they might give up on the play. Not quite sure, still hanging around. This is pretty dangerous. It's a 2v5 as we see Nami backing.
And they don't have Nami wave for this.
Yeah, they'll potentially attempt to steal. Nami elects to stick around, but there is no tidal wave. This is a 5v3. The Edge of Night was popped. The red team does take down the dragon, and it looks like Forever is going to find his way onto Untitled User. Untitled User with a nice onslaught of shadows does go down. The snare coming down onto Forever. Forever going down, and now all of a sudden Slooshy's in a little bit of trouble. An excellent Zonias by Janna, preventing that last auto attack from hitting her and taking her down. And now we see Rajan just a couple of more auto attacks onto FortressDoor. A 3-for-1 in favor of Team Arizona. They might be bringing themselves back into this game.
That Lux binding before that fight shows up is huge because it forces the Nami to blow her wave. And even though Lux ults as well, Lux ult's going to be up again in time for the fight because that thing doesn't have a cooldown.
You're absolutely right about that. Nice tower taken by Team Arizona, their first tower of the game in 23 minutes. Not exactly something you love to see, but better late than never.
Yeah, the other thing about that is that Singe opted to keep split pushing during that dragon fight, and he didn't actually take the tier 2 turret. He got some decent damage onto it, but ultimately not great for the overall trade of losing drag and losing the team fight.
Absolutely, and we see Singed pushing in the top lane. The next objective that both teams have eyes on is this Baron. I would think that they would maybe want to send Singed bot lane. It looks like what they're going to do is they're going to send Zed bot lane and maybe keep Singed in the top lane and try to run a 1-3-1. But that's not really. I don't feel that's an effective use of their resources right now. I know Zed is very, very scary, and they'll have to devote multiple members to Zed, and maybe they'll like to do the 1-3-1 and keep the pressure up. They do have the gold lead. It looks like their team's just a little bit stronger at this point in the game, but you have to be careful. You don't want a scenario like this where it seems like every member of the enemy team is heading for your Zed, and Zed could potentially be in trouble. The Edge of Night still does need to be popped, and a good job of Forever of backing off.
Yeah, very nice to not overextend, which doing the split push Zed strategies can work very well because you can push the wave up and try to hide in the jungle again and wait for somebody to try to take the farm and then just pounce on them. So split pushing on Zed has its advantages as well. But yeah, they're not really getting a ton off of it, but everybody's just kind of dancing around the map right now looking for any type of pick or advantage or something that they can grab and then go take Baron off of.
Right, and you have to make it happen. You can't, you have to do something that's going to force some sort of error in judgment from either team in order to create this play. The play's not just going to fall into your lap, which is
You
why I
have
think they should bring Zed up with them because that'll help them take the Baron a little bit faster if the team elects to try to, find a kill onto Singe or something like that. Singe is going to help them nearly as much.
Yeah, you have to be proactive when you're playing League of Legends. You cannot be reactive. And
We're gonna have a
they're being
3v3
proactive.
playing in the top lane. A nice tidal wave there by the Nami. The onslaught of
Bye,
Shadow
Nami.
really go onto the Nami. They're gonna get a pretty quick kill out of that one. Rajin running away. Acid with a nice dodge. Now rooted up is Wheezy. On the other side, Acid being chased down by Untitled User and Rajin. Acid going dangerously low. Swagnar taken down by Slooshy, who roamed up from the mid lane. Slooshy is gonna get some auto attacks into this fight. A nice arcane shift. They're gonna secure the kill onto the Hecarim. That is a 3-for-1 in favor of Team Virginia.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be an even fight, but then all of a sudden the bot lane came up, and Ashe and Morgana were not in position to help. And interesting enough, Ashe still has her ult available. She didn't even go for a long range Ashe arrow to try to aid in that fight.
Yep, and the Hawkshot just came out, so they do spot out Slooshy and Acid, but they will start this Baron. And Slooshy, I don't know if you ever played Ezreal and you're smacking a Baron, you do a lot of damage really, really quickly. You throw your Q down, it pretty much dramatically reduces the cooldown on your W. Your W does a bunch of extra damage. It's going to throw the ult out in the mid lane. Maybe get a minion or two, kind of thin out that wave a little bit. Now Wheezy and FortressDoor have shown up, and this is going to be a pretty free Baron for Team Virginia. An excellent job. They were pretty patient, and they got the 3v3 that they wanted. Slooshy came up, nice rotation, and it ends up resulting in a Baron. You got to make the plays happen.
Yeah, and they're going to have the Baron buff for when this dragon spawns so that they can push for soul point off of the next dragon after this one. I also love how Slooshy put up the Lux emote as he got spotted. Like, hey, good job.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I was gonna point it out, but you love to see it. And a little bit of little bit of banter through emojis in game.
The other crazy thing right now is even though they've got that big CC chain of all that AP damage, it's doing nothing to the Volibear and the Singed. The Luxalt barely even tickled them in that team fight, and Voli finished his Spirit's Visage.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it looks like they're going to fight over this dragon. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. You have all this pressure, and if you're gonna fight over this dragon, you're gonna have to get control of the dragon.
You
And
don't
if you
really
don't get control of the dragon,
is that
looks
go
like
in?
Forever had gone into the backline. Azonia is coming out. Ooh, a bunch of damage coming out onto Janna. Here comes Team Virginia. They are wreaking havoc on the backline, forcing flashes everywhere. Acid in the middle of three people with the volley slam. Slooshy on the back end does take care of the Camille, and everybody's going down for Team Arizona. 2 members left. TheVioletCap is running away desperately, but Slooshy just does too much damage. A double kill for Slooshy, and they're going to turn their sights back onto the dragon. They're going to look for their third dragon of the game. The next one will put them on soul point. This is a 4-for-2 in favor of Team Virginia. They open the gold lead even wider.
Yeah, I don't know why you contest that when they have Baron buff and that dragon's not soul point. It's like they have the advantage in that team fight to an insane degree with the Baron buff, and it's not a fight you have to take because that dragon's not soul point.
I think the biggest issue is they just didn't have eyes on Forever. You really need to have eyes on Forever, as we see Forever just going forward. It looks like he's going to blow up the Lux. He does. Swagnar going down through the barrier. Didn't matter. But they didn't have eyes on Forever. And that's really important because if you have eyes on Forever, you can kind of do a little ebb and flow, no pun intended, because we've got an obby in the game. You can do a little bit of ebb and flow near the dragon in an effort to waste time on the Baron. But when you're not able to do that and not able to waste their time, as we see Forever is just going to take down TheVioletCap pretty casually. Another kill for Forever. The next victim may be Morgana, but Morgana thinks better of it.
I love it for both of those. I love it for both of them. No, please,
go ahead. No, you're fine. Oh, Forever in the middle of a 3v1 is going to be a little bit of trouble here. Use the stopwatch. Not quite sure if they're going to be able to get a kill. A shutdown for Erasian. 750 gold. Pretty hefty, but I don't think it's going to do enough.
I just love how for both of those kills, Zed did the fadeaway where he just didn't look at them while they died. He was like, cool, I got the ult on you. I don't care. You got Ignite on you. I'm just going to look away.
Cool guys don't look at explosions, my friend. Wheezy ghosting his way out of there, memeing a little bit. 2, 5, and 9. The dank memer.
Classic Sidge.
Ah, yes. Standing right in the turret range to left. Dodges both bindings. Yikes. That's a little demoralizing.
That's just feeding the tiger at the zoo. You're not supposed to do that.
I mean, I'm not even in the game and I feel pretty demoralized there. It's pretty rough. But, I mean, I will say it was a bit of a disappointing Baron out of Virginia. They didn't get any of the inhibitor towers, and maybe if they had grouped up somewhere and focused everything in one spot, they would have been able to do that. But they didn't. Not to say it's going to be hard to knock these towers down. I think they're just way too far ahead at this point. But you would like to see some coordinated team play.
Yeah, I mean, it is still a scrims. We are still at the beginning of the season here at Scuffed League. Looking for an engage, not finding it though.
Wheezy way too fast. The boots of swiftness. The slow didn't matter. Doesn't care about the slow.
He's just. Oh, and now Acid is joining in.
The memes. Don't let your memes be memes. So they do begin to siege down the mid lane. Team Virginia. Meanwhile, we see Forever heading up to the top lane is going to start getting that push there. We're going to need to see Slooshy get some poke down as the rest of the team is not really excellent at poking. I mean, Zed has to get a little bit too close to poke. He's not with the team right now. Maybe they should be focusing their efforts in bot lane. It looks like that is what Wheezy has realized and will push that wave out. They're going to look to get all 3 waves crashing at the exact same time and really spread Arizona too thin.
Yeah, definitely something to think about with the coaches after the fact is getting the rotation timers to be a little fast. Up, here we go.
So it's like a 4-man engagement, and Slooshy is in a lot of trouble. Did it drop a pretty good cleanse there, but the Hextech ultimatum was too much. He had nowhere to go. Now Acid is going to get out of there, even though he was a full health. Wheezy on the back end of this fight, maybe trying to wreak some havoc, is in the middle of 5 members of the enemy team, potentially ill-advised. Does get healed up quite a bit, does go back in, but took a huge chunk of damage, and Wheezy running for his absolute life.
What's going on right now?
FortressDoor is going to get the kill onto Violet. Wheezy, meanwhile, is just toying with the rest of the enemy team. And what looked like a really bad engagement just shows the huge gold deficit that Arizona is facing. This was a really broken fight by Team Virginia, but it does not matter. They will take down the mid inhibitor turret. They have their eyes set on the mid inhibitor. And Zed and the top side doing the exact same thing, had just taken down that tower a little bit ago, does take down the red inhibitor. I mean, that was a fight that didn't even have the Zed. Now it looks like Rasian and Entitled User are chasing down the Zed. The Zed with a pretty nice death mark there, doing the jukes, the faker plays. And we see Acid in the thick of things along with Wheezy and tossing up Entitled User like a pizza. Untitled User trying to run away desperately as the health bar drops lower and lower. Acid leaping right in, lands the stun onto Rasian, but Rasian will get back to the fountain. But that's the problem. They're in the fountain. And it looks like Team Virginia will opt to run away. They may go to try to take this Dragon Soul. They got what they wanted. They got 2 inhibs. They have complete control of the game.
Yeah, all Singe was doing that entire time, they were just running around the mid lane, just stalling for time as Zed just destroyed their top lane. And that's all they needed. You got Dragon up in 10 seconds. The Baron is already up. Their base is in shambles. If they try to fight you, you can easily either go for the backdoor finish or just stall them out because eventually they're going to have to just go back and go
You
for the.
see Israel doing so much damage. Oh, Forever got the flank onto Swagnar.
Oh,
Lands.
goodbye.
Oh, it's just an excellent play out of Forever. Using the Deathmark Shadow and the Shadow from the W to just put down so much damage. Violet in a little bit of trouble. Fires the Ash ult. It goes
Oh,
wide. Violet has no HP left. Slooshy, however, is in a little bit of trouble, but he's healing a little bit too much. Forever rejoins the fight, is going to pick up 2 on the back line. That is a double kill. The last kill going down onto the Camille. That is an ace for Team Virginia. The base is in shambles. The supers are there. It looks like this is going to be 2-0 in favor of Team Virginia. The first turret goes down. The minions doing work, taking down the second tower to about 20% HP. FortressDoor is going to clean that one up. They take the third inhibitor. I don't think it's going to matter. The Nexus is exposed. Nobody's up for 3 more seconds. Swagnar is going to respawn, maybe to just die again, but instead they will elect to put Team Arizona out of their misery. Team Virginia in pretty clean game once again.
I love, Weezy's just figured it's like, no, we're destroying their entire base. I don't care if it's not going to matter. I am getting that last inhib.
Yeah,
Once
I mean,
again,
you
we
pump
see
up the numbers.
forever.
You pump up those inhib numbers. 2 inhibs as rookie numbers.
It's about sending a message. These are scrims after all. But my gosh,
These
just
are total.
forever, just insane, just popping off both games. It doesn't matter if he was Oriana or Zed. He was going to wreck everything.
Really surprising to see that the Zed did not deal the most damage on the team, or the second most damage.
Well, you're dealing with a poke, 80 carry, and the poison ticks onto the Zed. Or
Yeah,
onto the
oh, yeah,
Sin. So.
Singed, yeah. Yeah, the Singed put out an impressive amount of damage. Wheezy had a bit of a rough go in lane earlier again. Did mention that they were gonna play a champion that they actually know how to play, and lane went kind of similar at times. Rasian did have a bit of a tougher time this time around, that for sure. It
Oh,
was
for
really
sure.
never. Yeah, they put a couple of resources into the Camille, and Camille could just never get off the ground, and really
Yeah.
just was not able to make an impact early on in the game.
Yeah. I kind of, big thing that I take away from this match, I really am got to question the Lux pick overall because at the end of the day, it really just did not have the damage to matter at any point during this game. It got a couple of picks early, and you have the CC comboing chain, but it just didn't have the damage it needed to be impactful during any of the team fights.
100% agree. It looks like once again Forever got the better of Swagnar, and apparently Swagnar had mentioned that they were getting target banned, so maybe not on
That's
their
also true.
first, second, or third option for mid lane.
Yeah.
So it's not quite sure if it's skill gap. I don't think it is. Swagnar plays a pretty solid mid lane game from what I can see in terms of how they approach the game. Just seemed like since Lux couldn't really get ahead, the damage just is not there.
Yeah. Swagnar got target banned like crazy. He couldn't, his Swain and I forget what it was, but they banned his Swain and another one of his champions in the first round, both games. So clearly they knew that he could have been a threat if they let him get his pick.
Well deserved. Swain mans don't get to enjoy the game.
Nope.
Just disgusting.
Yeah.
Well, are we going to a third game? I'm not sure if we're doing a best of 3 or they're just doing 3 matches. Not quite sure what the plan is here. I guess we'll find out shortly. It does not look like we're in a lobby. So I think that might be it. Not
Yeah.
quite sure yet. I'm
At
sure
the end of
somebody will let us know, please.
At the end of the day, though, it's a great showing from both teams, even though it's a 2-0. Like both, like they had some great plays. There was a lot of back and forth in both of those games, even for how one-sided they got at the end.
All right, just got confirmation that was the last game. Does look like these are going to be some pretty strong teams for sure. Really excited to see Team Virginia. That team looks pretty legit. Team Arizona, they're not going to be playing each other head to head. Team Arizona, I mean, considering that Team Virginia looks so good, the fight that Team Arizona was able to put up, I expect them to do very well also. It seems like their team plays pretty well together. They're all pretty solid players. And I'm excited to see what's going to come, in a week or a week or so, and they start playing games against teams in their conference.
Yeah, for sure. When we get into the actual tournaments, though, and there's actually like the tournament on the line, people are going to start trying harder, and it'll be a completely different atmosphere from the scrims.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully all of these teams will get some extra practice in between now and then. Remember, the start time for the Scuffed League's official season, I believe, is next week. Next weekend is when we're going to have our first official season games. I'm excited for those.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a great time. I can't wait to see what all these other teams can pull out. And who knows, maybe the teams we saw today are hiding a secret pocket pick that they're just not letting anybody know about, and they're not even
Ooh,
practicing at scrims.
secret pocket picks. Ooh, interested.
It's always
Interested.
spicy when one of those comes out.
Yep, it's always spicy when the secret sauce comes out, Everybody thinks that the secret sauce is just a regular sauce, but it's actually just spicy sauce.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, ladies and gentlemen, that'll be it for our scrims today. From what I can see, we were the Scuff League. We were more than happy to bring you some great League of Legends. My name is Yanni. You can call me John. You can call me Boxy. It doesn't matter. I was here with Sword. Sword, you did a great job. I was more than happy to cast with you today. It was a
Hey,
pleasure.
right back to you, man. We have some great synergy there. We need to do this again more times.
Absolutely, dude. I love casting, and I only really started actually deciding that like we're gonna cast in like the last month. So
For sure.
it's always a fun time. Always a fun time. Well, both of these teams they definitely showed their stuff. They put on an entertaining show for the fans. I hope everybody enjoyed. In a couple hours out of your Saturday, we greatly appreciate you taking the time to watch and putting interest in this league. And we hope you stay and grow with us to watch all of these teams from around the United States put on their best and try to, you know, be the champion of this league for that $20 Applebee's gift card.
I thought it was Olive Garden.
Is it Olive Garden?
Last time I read it, it was Olive Garden, but it could have
It's
changed.
Olive
But
Garden. I
who
swore it
knows?
was Applebee's.
I don't
Yo,
know.
the yo, I'm just saying the ad that I got on Facebook to join this league said Applebee's.
I
But I
hope
mean,
it's Olive Garden
now,
because
now
that makes
here's
the
the problem.
meatball jokes make even more sense.
Here's the problem. Is it $20 Applebee's gift card for the entire team? Everybody
That's
just
what I was wondering too.
gets
Congratulations, everybody! You get a fry.
you get $4 worth of meals at Applebee's. At least make it a Wendy's gift card. You can get a 4 for 4.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, everybody. Well, once again, thank you for taking time out of your Saturdays to be here and listen and watch and enjoy with us. We greatly appreciated your time, and I hope you all have a great night. Sellsword, you also have a great night, and I'll see you guys
Cheers,
next
man.
time.